All right. Welcome back to the Green Logbook. This is kind of a impromptu type of a live stream. I did not expect to go live this morning, but I figured, what the hell, let's go live and see where it goes from here. So, if you're joining in, welcome to the Green Logbook. If you don't know what this channel is about, I started this channel as a way to document my military to civilian transition as I was leaving the Marine Corps after 20 years of service. And it has since blossomed into a community of vets and even non-vets who like that type of tribe and camaraderie. So welcome to the Green Law. Let me adjust some lighting here. Yeah. So today I just wanted to talk about this growing VA disability culture that I see online. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of getting out of hand a little bit, I think. It started off with me kind of, I got an email, I got a link from someone at some point a few months back about TikTok stuff. People posting on TikTok and dancing around, flaunting their VA disability ratings online for everybody to see. And I've done some research on this. I've looked at different forums and stuff, and ultimately, there is a stigma. There is a lot of pushback with a lot of folks. I've read the stuff on Reddit, talked to people in person and online, where they're like, you know what? I wish I would have never told anybody what my rating was, and I tend to agree with that. It's nobody else's business but your own. And I'm curious if you have a different mindset on that. Please feel free to share it. Not saying that you're wrong. I'm open to different perspectives on this, of course. Many times after I even posted that one video about the VA disability culture on TikTok, I got some comments on there saying, "Hey, people are proud of their VA disabilities. Hey, that's all great. Be proud of it. The way I chalk it up to is the military or the government use your body and your mind to complete their mission, and they're paying you accordingly because some parts of you may not work the same as when you join the military. However, something about it just doesn't sit right with me. And I mean, please share your perspectives if you like. But I'm going to pull up this this group that was sent to me. It was both sent to me via Messenger, and it also started showing up after it was sent to me, and I looked at it. It just constantly kept showing up on my Facebook feed. Now I don't frequent Facebook too much, but let me share this here real quick. Let me look it up. What is it called? Something about disability. It's an entire group on Facebook. It's got 115,000 members, right? Again, not throwing shade on these folks. I'm just wondering, like, why though? Like, why? Why share this stuff? So here, let me. I mean, anybody can just jump on the page. I'm not sharing anything out of, that's private or anything like that. I'm not even a member of the group. I still have the button that says join group on there. Here, let me share this trash on here, or this not this trash. Let me share this. That Marine Corps speak is coming up, right? Right, here we go. Okay, so here we see this. VAclaims.org, a nonprofit, non-governmental agency. Got it. Cares and decisions that could save your. All right, I'm not sponsored by these folks. I don't know who these folks are. I didn't expect to see their whatever .org on there, so it is what it is. But the group is called Disabled Veterans. Okay, it's got 115,000 people. You can see me highlighting on here, and and it's got a lot of folks on there who just jump on here and they share their rating, right? Some folks do, some folks don't, but why why put your photos up there and share, hey, I'm a disabled veteran here, you know? Hmm. trying to come up with one that shows. There's a few that I read the other day that shows, full 100% VA disability or something. This dude's, working out, you know, just a lot of folks on here that are like, "Hey, I'm VA disabled." I don't know I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what causes somebody to want to jump on a group and share their disability. This guy, hi Al, just found this group. I've been retired going on 9 years. I was in the Navy for 4 years, in the Army for 21. I am 90%, 10% TP. Why? Why? No. Um, so I'm just not sure what causes. I'm looking into this, the mindset of what causes somebody to want to share this. Are they going and seeking like-minded folks who maybe share in their disability ratings, you know? Um, Real quick, Rad 869, like the great poet Lil Wayne once said, "Real G's moving silence like lasagna." That's right. That's right. That is constantly on my playlist when I do my morning workouts. So, real G's moving silence like lasagna. Yep. Bruce Fontaine, welcome to the Green Logbook. Happy to have you, buddy. Navy Cop, are you causing hate and discontent today, Vic? No, no, no. I mean, if you want to take it that way, sure, Navy Cop, sure, man. But no, the idea is, so this thing here, this website here or Facebook page was sent to me by somebody on Facebook Messenger, and ever since I clicked on it and started looking at it, I'm not a member, a group member, right? As you can see, like it says join group on here. But it has a whole lot of folks on here, 115,000 people. It's a public group. And um, it's introduced as the VA Disability Discussion Group, a dedicated space for veterans to connect, share experiences, and seek advice on VA disabilities. However, the majority of people that I see on here, I mean, these are all kind of new. Um, some of them just flat out like, "Hey, this guy Rick, 100% PNT rating, total of 30 years of military service. You know, happy for your service, man. Proud of you, buddy. But why the need to share your disability rating with the world?" So I don't get it. What's this about? U.S. Army Grunt, welcome to. Good to see you, buddy. Let me see. Oliver Rust, hey, yeah, to Navy Cop. Bruce Fontaine, Vic, I sent you an email last week. Let me check it out, bud, because my emails are. I get emails from folks wanting to jump on the podcast. I get emails from folks trying to help grow the channel. I'm like, I hope I didn't delete it. If it's something, if you didn't come off and said, "Hey, I can help you grow the channel," most likely I didn't delete you. So what email did you send it to? I'm curious, because I do have a few out there, including the Military Retirement Podcast. But yeah, today, something about this, man. I got this wild hair up my ass about this group specifically, and then how I'm so set against anybody sharing their stuff because it's nobody else's business. And I mean, you see it all over TikTok. You see it now. I'm seeing it here. Like this guy, U.S. Army veteran, 100% PNT. Why though? This shit is. I'm not changing anybody's minds with this. I understand that. This guy, 100% PNT due to mild TBI and PTSD. Cool, man. Why share it? Why share it? Just doesn't. 90% disabled, working on that. Working on what? Do you rate 100%? Like, damn. I am 100% disability. Took me several years to get it. Gotcha, bud. Why share it? 100% PNT. Why share it? Just all these folks, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. 100% PNT, residing in Houston, Texas. Like what? Okay. So 100%, 100% always. Oh, okay. This one's 100% always up to meet new people. So is this like a dating thing, or is this like a 100% V or 100% VA disabled people? Is this like their dating site or something? Like what is this? 100% DAV. Gotcha. So yeah, I don't 100% PNT. So a lot of folks on here sharing this trash, man, and I simply don't get it. It I guess it bothers me a little bit that folks do this, and it doesn't really help the veteran community in the eyes of like civilians and people who make these laws, because it shows like, oh, these people are living their best life and they're 100% VA disabled. Are they really disabled? Like, just don't just like the great poet Little Wayne once said, "Real G's move in silence like lasagna." That's correct. You know, let me see. Bruce Fontaine, you got it right, buddy. Never share your rating. It's your business and you earned it. That's right, my man. So uh, again, this just like, I'm just, in my endeavors of studying people's motives and emotions and behaviors, this kind of started opening up a new rabbit hole for me. Like, what causes somebody? Is it the need to feel, connected to other 100% VA disabled people, or 90 or whatever? Is it the desire to want to just share a little bit about yourself, to connect with other people? Is it like a dating thing? I'm not sure. I don't know. Navy cop says I was in that group for a short time, and it is either people bragging or people causing issues in the comments. Not worth the time, so I walked my way out the door on that one. Sounds like you did something good for yourself there, Navy cop, because I was the person that sent me this group on here, this disabled veterans group on Facebook Messenger, asked me if I had seen this before, and asked if I'm going to be joining this. And I was like, because I'm very selective on the groups that I join online, or the Substacks that I subscribe to and things like that. And after looking at this, I'm like, I don't know that I want to, share. It doesn't matter if I'm 50%, 80%, whatever. Uh, it's not a requirement for me that I know of. I've never tried to join the group or anything like that. It's completely open in the public. So I don't know if they ask you any questions up front about sharing your rating or anything like that. But I just don't feel the need to connect with other people who are just flaunting it and sharing their VA disability, and that is their persona online. I just don't feel the need to do that. So yeah, Navy cop, I think you did a good service for yourself, buddy, in getting out of that group, man. And again, not throwing any shade to this organization up here. I don't know who they are. I've never even heard of them before. But as far as this group here, no, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. There's enough of that trash going around on TikTok and stuff that I just figured I don't need to be a part of that. I don't need to introduce that more content of this matter, of this sort, into my life. Let me see, the one in your description, I believe, all good. We will connect. You know what, Bruce Fontaine? Let me look it up right now, buddy. Let me look it up right now. Nothing better than to do it on the live stream here real quick. So you said you sent me an email. I got you. Let me check you out here real quick. Is it coming from a Bruce Fontaine? I'm not sure. Let me look it up on search mail. Bruce. Claim climbers. Is that right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. Well, I mean, the name matches up with your name here. So, yeah, I will. I wasn't sure if like who you were or anything like that, but now, we're connecting here on the live stream, so I will respond to you, buddy. I got you. I see you. I see you. I know you're not a some fake organization. Right. Okay. All right. You said you stayed in Oside. You stayed at the Seabird. Yeah, I know where that is. Awesome. Awesome. Question from WMBD Why is it that the VA doesn't know the appointments that are scheduled within the community care appointments? Seems fixable. It does seem fixable, right? I think I know what you're talking about. At one point, the VA wasn't tracking one of my appointments, and I was wondering what the hell was happening. Um, that's a great question. I don't know. It might be something for maybe somebody in the group knows, or it might be something that whoever manages the appointment scheduler programs for the VA might have to answer. But just off the bat, man, I do not know. Uh, Salty Old Marine, man. Hey, welcome, Salty Old Marine, man. Good to have you here, Bill. Um, Veterans have many reasons for sharing their ratings. It can be a relief at the end of a very long battle. It can be validation that the VA acknowledged the damage their military service did. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I would tell you when I received my rating, I was happy. Um, I shared it with my wife, and of course, we have very good communication, her and I. And aside from that, didn't tell a soul, man. Didn't tell a soul uh, because I just felt like I'll tell you this: when I retired from the Marine Corps, and I had a conversation with a civilian friend of mine, that relationship fell apart after I mentioned to this person that, oh yeah, um, I'm retired now, and essentially I get a pay pension for the rest of my life. So it's very, my life is a little bit cushioned more than it was before. Uh, and then he asked me about my job at that time, which was a very good contractor job, paid very well. And he's like, dude, so you're making this, and on top of that, you get paid for life? And he made a comment to where he's like, man, he probably has to work until he's like 60 or something. And, it was kind of a weird comment to make. But um, after that, our friendship kind of deteriorated. Like there was no more contact for some reason. And I think it was because of that. So rather than share my personal information, like on ratings or anything like that with anybody else, I just don't feel the need for it. It was, I saw how it could affect a friendship when you do mention to somebody, hey, look, I'm retired. I mean, yeah, I worked for 20 years in the Marine Corps. Yeah, I earned this retirement, but I also can see how it kind of ruined the friendship a little bit. Or US Army Grunt says, this is the reason why I don't like social media. It will be the downfall for a lot of 100%. Yeah, yeah, I get that. Who was I just talking to? I was talking to Jim from the Tayback Law after the fact, and he was mentioning about he mentioned something about that, how um, all these like claim sharks that have been doing these VA disability ratings have been using something like canned responses or canned, um, uh, I guess, responses, right, to whatever is required by the VA. So those are the things that the VA or the investigation is going to be looking at. How many of the same freaking responses are we getting submitted from all these different ones? And those veterans that use those services are the ones that are going to be in trouble. Now, if you use an accredited service, then that's fine. But he did mention that these claim sharks have like attorneys on their payrolls who just simply submit canned responses. And that is going to bite a lot of veterans in the behind. So stand by for that. I've joined and left several Facebook disabled veteran groups. Many spread bad scoop and shout down facts they don't like. Yeah, I agree, man. Dude, I was a part of a group on Facebook, and this the one lady had asked me. I asked her like, "Hey, look, I had put on there if I could that I was doing a live stream, and this was sometime last year. I was doing a live stream with somebody, and I think it could help a lot of veterans out. Let me know. Like I wasn't really trying to advertise it. I was more so trying to get it out to the masses. Like, hey, this is going to be a real good conversation here. And she, in turn, like I was asking permission prior to posting it, and she had mentioned, "Hey, yeah, yeah, I would love to post. I would love to have you post it." And this was a veteran group, um, and somewhere in the ballpark of like $100 for this post, right? If I want to advertise it, I'm like, well, I understand where you're coming from. I'm not really trying to advertise it, but I suppose I'll pass this time around. I thought it was just going to be good information for the masses, but it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, man, I'll be happy to support you and give you guys some publicity and shouting you guys out and stuff like that because you guys helped me out. But not a big fan of that. So yeah, there are a lot of Facebook groups, disabled veteran groups out there that do spread bad information, and I think it's like a measuring contest, right? Like, hey, I did this, I did that. You're 90%. A lot of folks applaud you, but at the same time, it's kind of like it doesn't feel right to me. Yeah. OT, yeah, this is close to social media. So yeah, I would love to leave Facebook, man. I would. The thing is, I run a business online. I make I don't know if I shared it with you guys. I make Marine and Navy uniform items, and they sell at the exchanges and the Marine shop, and they sell online. And part of it is advertising on Facebook. So I can't really leave Facebook or Instagram completely. And I do manage the military retirement group on Facebook, so I can't leave it completely. Uh, so badly do I want to, but I'm like, man, if I do, then I essentially, I don't know, my business dies with it because that's part of it. So double edged sword there, man. Yeah, Jason, that's exactly right, man. That gives haters ammo for our disability. If it's nobody's business, my neighbors ask me how I make a living, and I tell them I saved and was smart with my money. I'm not 100% either. Yeah, yeah. Um, I agree with this. So I mainly work from home myself, and I've had conversations like that with people that live around here. Like, oh, what do you do? I live near this dude who's a fire chief, and walking the dog in the morning, seeing him get ready for work. He's like, hey man, so what do you do again? I'm like, hey, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of consulting, a little bit of this kind of work, that kind of work. And I just tell him I run a media hub, a media business, right? I'm not telling him I'm a content creator. That's not coming out of my mouth yet. Shit, I'm 40 something years old. That sounds weird, right? But um, yeah, I mean, just try to keep it as vague as possible. Like, yeah, yeah, keep some mystery in there, right? So yeah, I get you, man. I get you with that. Just smart with, and that is partly true too. Smart with your money, right? You may have been smart with your money, made good financial decisions. Lord knows that I made some terrible financial decisions in my time, but you live and you learn, and uh, later on in life, through some lessons learned, you get to live well. Civ Div, hey, welcome, welcome. Hey, good to connect with you on LinkedIn, bud. Clay, good to connect with you on LinkedIn, man. Look forward to sharing some good information on there. And congratulations on the Born. Is it the Born accredited claims that you opened? That's awesome, dude. Helping a lot of folks. Um, you ever feel like vets are just submitting claims to just submit and only for the money? Oh, yes, yes. Um, why wouldn't they? I mean, so there's a mindset of comparison here when you join these disability groups, right? Even one of the people that I put on there, let me add her to, let me put it up on the screen here. If I can ever figure this trash out, here you go. Um, one of the people on here said, "Hey, 90% still moving towards that 100%." When the mindset here is when you join a group like this, you know, you are around other people who have achieved maybe 100%. So that gives you the desire to move forward and continue seeking something. You may not rate it. I don't know, but it gives you that desire to continue seeking that. So, same way that comparison works, right? You move to a neighborhood, all your neighbors may have brand new cars, so you feel some people feel compelled to buy a new car themselves, just to keep up with the Joneses per se. So, yes, I do feel like vets are just submitting claims to just submit only for the money. There are some out there, not everybody, but I do feel personally that there are some out there like that. They're going, hey, he said, Clay, you got a backlog of freaking vets getting a hold of you for this born claims. And what are you doing on YouTube? Gotcha. He got you there, bud. Clay's got a new job now. He's got to get back to work. OT's cracking that whip there. Um, It says Salty Old Marine. I make it clear to my veteran coworkers that I get VA disability. Many of them had no knowledge of VA disability, and I was able to educate them. So that's cool, though. That's cool. You're educating them on the process on how that all works, right? The government, the military has used your mind, your body for a mission. Now they are um, essentially paying you because your body's no longer the way it was when you first started. It has significantly deteriorated. Um, Now, what my issues are with a lot of these things are, hey, look, um, I got 100% VA disability. Dude, I will tell you, I will give you a quick story. I went with a group of vets over to um, a San Diego Padres game, right? I love the Padres, go to the games all the time. Okay. And went out there with a group of vets and sat next to this uh, Navy guy, Navy senior chief, master chief. I'm not sure what this guy was, but very like happy guy, who was out there with his wife, his kids. I was there with my wife, my kids, and I introduced myself and I'm like, hey, my name's Vic, and he's like, oh man, where'd you serve? Because we were all veterans there. I was like, oh, well, 20 years in the Marine Corps. Of course, us freaking Marines got to always shout that out, right? 20 years in the Marine Corps, did this and that. And I was like, what about you, man? He's like, oh, Navy, chief petty officer or something. And yeah, 100% VA disabled. And I'm like, huh? Like, w- what compelled you to share that information? I don't know. Maybe he was just happy as hell that he just got his VA disability rating. I don't know. But I'm like, hey, man, congratulations, dude. Like, I threw no shade towards the guy. I didn't really care. I guess I didn't catch it at that time, but I'm like, oh, excellent, dude. That's pretty cool. Congratulations. So he's like, yeah, yeah, man. And he didn't ask me what I was, thankfully, because I would have told go kick rocks. I don't share that information, but be happy to live in that mystery for as long as you want. Let that live rent free in your head. Bruce Fontaine, never use a bot. I respond to every Google rating personally. Excellent. Excellent. You take a vet with PTSD like me who has been living an isolated life for decades and then tell them not to talk about their disability to anyone. I'm not going to punish myself like that. The phone center is called VA Connect, really oversees answering the phone answering center. That's unfortunate, man. Like overseas, like what? You can tell by the accents or something? Like how I've never called them, so I don't know. VA Connect, but absolutely, man. Absolutely. I will I will send you a link here. A link of what stuff exactly? What are you looking for, Clay? Um oh, you're talking about so my thing is called Undercover Clip. Yeah, it's called Undercover. I'm just reading some of the comments. My just just to give a little plug here. I've been running it for quite some time. It's this is my little side business that I have here. I'll share it with you, Clay. Here, it's called Undercover Clip. I designed this. I made this. It goes inside 8-point Navy and Marine Corps covers. The best way to carry your eyewear in uniform. That's essentially what it is. These are all photos taken by myself. That's my watch, my knife, and all that good stuff on my table. So yeah, undercover clip. That's what it is. Just carries your eyewear in uniform safely. Um, I it was a process. I messed up my brand new sunglasses running to a formation at one point. Not really running, but getting to a formation. I had crap in my cargo pocket. I threw my sunglasses in the cargo pocket, and when I pulled them out, they were. I mean, I had just bought the sunglasses that week, and when I pulled them out, they were trashed. So they were like the lenses were all scratched up. I was like, shit, man, like there's got to be a better way to carry this. So I started looking at my uniform one afternoon, and I'm like, well, within uniform regulations, within Papa 1020.34 hotel, within these uniform regs, I got to be able to carry these sunglasses somewhere where it doesn't show, or I can't just put them in my left breast pocket or something. So naturally, when I took off my cover, I took out that little credit card or cardboard piece that you put in there in that little slit to keep the the cover up. I'm like, what if I just created something that went in there? So I started doing that, submitted all the patent stuff. It takes forever, but now I sell this stuff continuously. I got some orders actually going out today. So yeah, that's kind of I do it for fun. I do it for fun. Let me see here. But yeah, it's undercoverclip.com. That's what it is. So thank you for that. Sounds weird until you start pulling in 1 million plus views per month and then suddenly your life changes. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, I don't get it, but I understand where you're coming from. Very cool, man. You're doing great things. They say you're skating, bro. You're skating. Hey, skaters gonna skate, man. Skaters gonna skate. Oh, Navy Cup. Yes. I appreciate you asking that, man. I really do. So, um, I feel okay. I feel okay. Uh, it was a lot of frustration. Like I have since pulled the video down for a few reasons. One of which being, my kids watch YouTube. Where I have it when you log into the YouTube on the TV, it'll show all the accounts, and they just happen to be in there. Sometimes my videos will show up at the bottom there. So these are things that I probably don't want my young kids to come across. Me, I don't think they're ready for that to hear me talking about that stuff. So that was kind of a little eye opening for me. But yes, no, I appreciate that. It was out of frustration. But yesterday I did post up a video about it was not edited at all. It was just me in front of a camera, just speaking frankly and just raw, um, explaining how I'm frustrated with a few things, how I'm going through a few emotions, how I watched that documentary with those Navy SEALs looking for some kind of respite from their mental issues, called "In Waves in War." Really good. It came out in 2024. Really good documentary. And holy crap, man! I have to be honest here, man. I was by the end of it, when I saw how they had reached some sort of relief. Uh, I mean, dude, I was in tears, man. I really was. I really was. And I don't say that lightly. I don't really speak about my emotions at all with anybody. You know, my wife, yes, sometimes, but I'm very closed off about that. But I have to be honest here, man. I was in tears at the end, because I was happy for these gentlemen that they found something to cure their demons, at least temporarily, because they were going through a lot of stuff, and a lot of it was, you know, wishing or wanting that for myself as well. Because a lot of folks, a lot of people who have been through traumatic experiences, a lot of folks who have experienced things, or maybe have deployed, or been in combat, etc. Um, you all know what I mean. Like, you have some stuff going on that you don't want to be going through. So yeah, that's all it was, man. Is talking through all that stuff, and I'm glad I got a lot of responses, and I appreciate all of you for doing that. And I'll be responding there probably today at some point. I appreciate you asking that, Navy cop, man. Sergeant Stacking, thank you. Hey, welcome, welcome, dude. The process needs to be strict enough to ensure only those who meet each elements are connected, but lenient enough to allow those who rate able to receive tough job. Yeah. Educating versus bragging about it, two different things. Absolutely, absolutely. You're right, Bill, in what you were doing, hands down. Yeah, yeah, I like what Bill's doing. What the Salty Old Marine's doing is he's educating people on it, especially the people he works with, educating them on it, because people don't know. They don't know. My issue was when I spoke to my civilian friend about it, and just kind of essentially educating this guy on how military retirement works. And he's like, dude, so you get paid for like the rest of your life? I'm like, yeah, as long as I'm alive, I suppose I get paid what a Chief Warrant Officer 3 after 20 years gets paid. And I'm like, I'm standing by to do my VA disability stuff. This is about the time where I had my stuff submitted. And he's like, wait, so you're gonna get paid more then? He's like, holy shit, man. And at that point in time, I felt the attitude shift a little bit, like, maybe I shouldn't have said all this. Maybe I shouldn't have shared all this information with this guy. And good friend. And then I don't talk to him to this day. I've reached out a couple times, one or two word emails or text messages back, but nothing of worth, nothing, you know. And he doesn't live that far away, but I think it's because of that reason the relationship has kind of deteriorated a little bit. Uh, Mario, what's going on, my man? Welcome, welcome back, dude. Good to have you here, bud. Army band vet, my man. Welcome to the Green Logbook. Glad to catch your live feed. Just stopping in to say hello. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing a live feed today. Um, Dropping off my kids at school, and I'm like, what? Before I left, I figured, what? Let me start one of these live feeds and put them out there, man, and talk about things that are on my mind, both on my mind, piss me off, and I'm grateful for. So one of the things I'm pissed off about sometimes is the 100% VA disability culture online, and how our people are so easy to just share this information online. Then they post pictures of themselves doing crazy things, and I'm like, well, you wonder why people are pissed off about you know veterans receiving this pay for the rest of their life. Why is there's a whole public group on this trash, as we can see. Well, here, let me pull it up here. You don't have to join this group to see this, but disabled veterans, 115,000 members, and just a bunch of people sharing, hey, disabled veteran, 100% VA disabled, 90% VA disabled. I'm disabled. Um, like why? And I think the Salty Old Marine kind of spelled it out. Like people are proud after a long fought battle for these benefits, for this pay, but why? I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I guess that's me having to look into human behavior a little bit and why people feel the need to post this stuff. But yeah, it's beyond me, man. Nothing good comes of it. I don't think people may feel good about putting their stuff on there on the group, but I have access to the group. I'm not a member of the group. I can see it. It's a public group. Who else has access to it is anybody who is fighting against VA disability. I'm sure that they're viewing this stuff like, oh, 115,000 people times what is 100% VA disabled. What is it, like 44,000, 4,300, something like that? Let's say 4,300. Just on this group alone, if everybody here was 100% VA disabled, this group alone is putting out 494,500,000 is in this group alone. That's freaking eye opening for me. Why this group is completely public. 494 million. If everybody in this group was 100% VA disabled. Crazy. Just going through the comments here real quick. U.S. Army grunt, I even hear that at VHA appointments, vets bragging about 100%. Not all do, but a bunch do. Hear it again last Friday. I told my wife, and wow, that's info you should not share. Yeah, I agree. And don't go twerking in the VA parking lot either. Don't go dancing around and sharing the videos on it. Some things just don't need to be shared. CWO's go-to formation. Sometimes you may not see us. We're kind of lurking in the back sometimes, but no, yeah, we do. I mean, if those who want to be seen as good leaders who will lead from the front, and yes, we do go to formation. I have gone to many of formation in the past, especially when my folks get promoted. I was always there, happy to see them get promoted or get awarded. So, shake their hand and congratulate them. Of course, I love seeing that stuff. Peace and Healing 88. Saw your video yesterday. Hang in there, thinking about you. Hey, I appreciate you. I have since taken the video down for several reasons, but or not taken it down, just made it private. I may share it again at some point, but man, I really had to get stuff off my chest. Things I was thinking about, things that were frustrating me, because that's a reality for a lot of vets. I talk to a whole lot, and a lot of us are frustrated and angry about things, and there's ways around it. We just I don't like the checks and the boxes that the VA makes you go through. That guy I shared on the video yesterday, the therapist that I was seeing, that I reported, because this dude told me to do something. I'm not even going to share it on here because I probably get YouTube would probably block me if I share what he asked me to do. But I was just taken aback. I was like, how the hell do you mention that to somebody who has come to seek help? How do you do that? So I have no patience for that dude. Brian Hahn, welcome, welcome, man. Good to see you, buddy. OT, I tried to keep it a secret from Miss Daisy, but she saw the retro deposit and was end of it I gave her. Oh man. No, that's good. Yeah, I have a buddy of mine, army buddy from back in high school. I knew this dude, and he got medically retired. And this dude, when he received a lump sum because he had been fighting for his VA disability for so long, he received some lump sum. And randomly, like I jumped on Facebook one day, and this guy was like traveling around Europe with his kids. And I'm like, dude, like, did you win the lottery or something? Like you're in Paris one week, you're in Germany the next week. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, dude, the VA sent me like 4 years back pay. He's like, I'm 100% now. I'm like, wow, that's pretty incredible, dude. Keep having a good time and enjoy it with your family. Brian Hahn, your hat clip is also great to hold my joint. Yeah, man, it's, you just make sure that it's not lit while you put your hat on, and you'll be good to go, dude, unless you wanna come out looking like you went to Ash Wednesday or something. Jason Miyamoto, well, after waiting 2 months for an appointment, now I got bumped back another month, like, what? See, man, I hate that trash, dude, I really do. I, I know the pain, trust me. I know I understand what you mean. Yeah, there you go. Would have never done it. So I'm gonna be putting out a lot of shorts with this gentleman, this guy Jim from Tayback Law. He just was dropping just some golden nuggets, man, on the video, the live stream we did the other day. Just amazing information and incredible stuff that I can't not share with the community. Just good info. Like, what's the one thing that he would tell every veteran at the end? I usually ask that, and he's like, "Do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, the longer it is for you to try to find your medical records and try to get somebody to help you out. Don't wait." Yeah, I fight my demons with humor. Yeah, I mean, there's humor. Some people punch through drywall. There's a whole lot you can do. Mario, brother, if you need to talk, believe me, I know exactly how you feel. I went through the same thing. Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's kind of tough sometimes, right? Uh, and I don't talk to people about that too often. Um, it's hard for me to even talk to my wife about it, but that's why therapists are there. And then when I got rid of this guy because he mentioned some weird off the wall crap for me to do, uh, not just to myself, but to somebody else, and I was like, Did you just say that, bro? Like, what?" Um, it's been, what, a month and a half to see somebody else, so it's a little rough, man. When I talk about my rating, I'm just telling it like it is. Everybody else is bragging. My rating is legit. Everybody else is scamming the system. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. Yeah, I get you, man. Sergeant Stacking. I missed half the story, but I got the gist. What do you think causes that friction after telling someone that you got a retirement or compensation? Is it jealousy? Yes, I think it is. I think it is jealousy. And um, it's a comparison. So for instance, that story with my friend, the civilian guy, he has been working in industry and, kind of skipping around to another job here and there. And when we were just talking, he's like, "So what do you do these days?" Right? And I was like, "Oh, well, I got this gig as a contractor. We're talking about it." He's like, "Oh man, I heard that pays well." I'm like, It pays pretty good." Um, and then he got to asking like, "Hey, so how's it work with military retirement? Like, you don't have to do anything anymore. Do you still have to report in and stuff?" And mind you, this guy, doesn't have anybody in his family who is military. Our wives just happen to know each other through like growing up and stuff. So um, then, and we had the conversation. I'm like, yeah, this is how it works. You essentially you serve 20 years. Sometimes there's times where they can make it 15 years. If they have a Terra, but you serve 20 years essentially, and then drop your papers, you retire, then you get paid for the rest of your life. You got to hope that you're healthy and all that stuff to benefit from all that. He's like, "You get paid for the rest of your life, man? Like really?" Like I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I don't know any other way to explain it to you. Yeah, you do. And then he's like, and I heard something about like disability stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. You also get disability stuff too." He's like, "What? You get all you? They pay you for that, like for life?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so for life. Yeah." And I can see the guy making calculations in his head, and he's like, "So you don't need to work?" I was like, suppose I don't need to if I don't want to, but I mean, I've made some certain financial decisions, and plus I have my job here now." So he's like, "Oh man, so you guys are good." And I'm like, suppose. Um, and that's one of the last conversations I had with the gentleman. One of the last conversations I had. Um, and I talked to my wife about it, because she knows him pretty well, and she's like, "Yeah, I think maybe by you explaining that to him, that it kind of threw things off a little bit because now he understands that he needs to work for damn near forever. And, I shit, if I wanted to, I can choose if I wanted to work or not. So I've kind of, I don't really talk to people about it, like outside of like the veteran community about uh, retirement and VA disability or anything like that. Not too much, because there is that thought that people get jealous. I think people compare their situation to yours. I mean, we can always use the argument that the recruiting station was open to everyone, but I don't know everybody's situation. I don't. So congratulations, man. Congratulations. 45 years we have been married. Wow. Congratulations, man. U.S. Army grunt. Awesome. OT 35 years. Wow. Feeling like you guys are making me feel like a youngin' here, man. In November, I'll be 20 years married. Wow. He says, "I just don't have a bunker mentality. Everyone is not out to get us. The public is not clamoring to end VA disability." No, no, I don't think I don't think the public is, but there are some out there who are lurking, I believe, and who are making it harder. Who are making it harder, and I don't know. I didn't know about this group, man. To be honest, this disabled veterans group until it was sent to me, and I'm like, wow, it was pretty eye opening. And folks out there who do have the power to make changes, I mean, this is just fuel to the fire, right? No, no twerking in the VA parking lots. That's right. Yeah, Navy cop. If I see you twerking in the VA parking lots, I'm going to report your ass, and I'll have them come get you. I'm not going to deal with you myself, but I'll have those guys in the little Segway scooters come and pick you up. Paul Blart is gonna find you Don't be stealing my OnlyFans thunder. Got to pay the bills. That's right. OnlyFans are like, what's his name? H Town says, lonely fans. Lonely fans. He's got a lonely fans. Let me see. Oh, hold on a second. Let me get my dog real quick. Hold on. Said they have more to record and post. Yeah, man. That's right. I just keep a low profile whenever I'm around fellow vets. At least you got it out of your system, Vic. Yeah, man. I don't like to personally, I don't like to hold myself down on one thing for multiple days. I get it out of my system and I move on. Dude, that's how it works up here. I can't I don't hold grudges. I don't know. I just get it out of my system really quick. And yesterday was just one of those days, man. It was like I was frustrated about a lot of stuff, and I was like, man, let me just post this trash. Yeah, and I think I am going to ask for about community care. I think you mentioned this, and I think Bill, the Salty Old Marine, mentioned it as well, community care, and I think I'm going to ask about that as well, um, because the next step for me was, man, I had such a good experience when I was in uniform and I was seeing just a therapist that I was sent out to see outside of Navy medicine, and it was such a good therapist, man, such a good therapist. And for some reason, like they're like, yeah, we can't. I don't know if they were shutting down or they were over their limit or what, or they didn't accept VA, but they're like, yeah, they just stopped seeing me. I try to make appointments, and they're like, oh yeah, you got to make an appointment with the therapist directly. I'm like, yeah, but she won't call back. So yeah, it didn't happen. So my experience with the VA therapist, man, it was for lack of getting into it anymore, it was not good. Not good. The photos don't tell the whole story or really any of the story regarding the group you shared. Yeah. Um, I'm curious what you mean by it doesn't tell the whole story. I know the photos don't tell the whole story. It just shows like the good times, the happy times, right? Just like what we put, just what like what people put on social media. Nobody's gonna really put on social media the bad times or them without makeup and all that trash unless that's the message that they're trying to convey. But people are only showing the good times on here. My thing is, you show all the good times you want. Why share 100% VA disabled or 90 or whatever? Here, I'm going to put up a link up here. Whoever wants to jump on, I'm happy to have somebody on the live stream here. If you all feel compelled to jump on here, I'll tell you, I needed a break. Last week was an incredibly uphill battle with school. Again, you got to get into that mindset if you're going to be using school or GI Bill or VRNE. It was incredibly frustrating. And that same week, there was an 8-page paper due, a 3-page paper due, an 8-slide PowerPoint, and discussion questions and answers. And it felt overwhelming. Um, and I was like, man, you know what? I got to take a break, but I got school this week as well. I was doing it this morning, and I'm like, let me just stop, pause, regroup, take a break, live stream for a little bit, get things off my chest, connect with the community, and then freaking attack that hill again and keep going. So that's what we do. I found that a lot of counselors, therapists are not helpful for many vets, peers, veterans, and close group friends help more. Brian, there is over at the Solana Beach, um, being that you're here in San Diego, right? Over at the Solana Beach VFW, they do a lot of therapy at the beach. They're only like a block away from the beach. Um, it's incredible. It's pretty incredible, and the guy who runs it, he's the one that's running for the VFW commander of California. Awesome dude, retired Navy SEAL, awesome guy. Um, if you ever get a chance to, if you're ever in that neighborhood, just go up there, talk to the dude. His name is Guy. The guy's name is Guy, and the VFW commander there. Just let him know, hey, I know Vic. Not that you're going to get any perks or anything. Just I connected with the guy a while back. So great stuff out there. Gonna be a Salty Marine. So this guy who was upset with your income source control was upset with your income source controls how you move through your life. This is not something I worry about myself. I don't need anyone to hate me. I hate myself already. Yes, sir. Essentially, that's what I picked up from it. And after that talk, there were certain events and stuff that would come up, and I'm like, hey, maybe so and so wants to hang out and do this. Either no response or can't do it, and it was like kind of back and forth for a few months where it's like, hey, this guy, like, I was just picking up what he was putting down. Like, maybe this guy doesn't want to hang out anymore. And then I talked to my wife about it, and she's like, well, that conversation you probably had with him didn't sit well with him because he's kind of trying to figure out life and trying to figure out where he's, his next move, and you telling him about your disability, potential disability compensation at the end, and then retirement pay, um, that left maybe a bad taste in his mouth. So yeah, I have to believe that that's. I mean, I have not talked to the guy since, but I have to believe that that was what he was upset about. It's all about saying yes, ma'am. Dude, yeah, man. Being married for 20 years, dude. It was I gotta give it up to my wife, man. She is awesome. I'm sure a lot of folks in this chat, in this live stream, when you were in your 20s, you were probably a wild man or a wild woman, and a knucklehead to say the least. And I was no different. And I've since really, I've since calmed down like times 10. So uh, we got a good life, and I attribute our good marriage to um, I have no other way of explaining it, but being stationed in Japan really helped us out. It brought us together as a family unit, and got me really close to my family, more so than before. Probably because we have to rely on each other more so than not. But I think being stationed in Japan really helped us out. I appreciate it, Brian. Thanks, man. Oh, dude, I'm on Reddit all the time, Bill. I'm on Reddit all the time, and yeah, I know that there's a you have a username. You don't know people don't know who you are on Reddit. And I normally go on Reddit to kind of give advice, like, hey, look, coming from like an older guy, who, and a lot of these cats are like in their 20s and stuff. Hey, I just got out. What do I do? I'll put advice on there, like, hey, it's not forever. You're not going to feel like this way all the time. Yeah, sometimes it goes away. Fill your time with something useful, etc. Go to school, um, volunteer, things like that. Uh, there is a lot of negativity around there too. So I know exactly what you're talking about, Salty Old Marine. Trust me. Reddit is off the walls, dude. It is. People just say some whacked out stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd listen to this person. Sergeant Stacking, man, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, man, but I appreciate you. Sorry to hear that. Some people think this check, whether retirement or compensation, comes without a cost. If I can get my health, physical, and mental back, I'd give it all. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, man. Trust me. Yeah. So not communicated at the vet center. Okay, yeah, you told me about the vet center. I was looking them up. There's one nearby. It's in Liberty Station, so I might have to check them out. Um, I might even have to do what, like, remember Punch the Monkey? He just like he had like a doll that he was carrying around. I might just carry a freaking like a plush doll and just start talking to go to the DMV. Who the hell is this guy talking to? He's talking to that freaking whatever that bulldog with a Marine Corps uniform on from the MCX. He just carries it around everywhere he goes. So literally this morning, I just asked my favorite PCP to change my mental health to community care. They have one psych for the entire clinic. You can never get in, and they have 1,000 excuses to put you off. Yeah. So the thing with the psych, right, the mental health stuff, when I was initially doing the appointment for that, they asked me, I got a call and they asked me, "Hey, do you want to do a group session or do you want to do like one on one?" And I thought, no, no, I want to do one on one. Like I've never done a group session before. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. At least I don't think that I would come out more with my feelings and things like that if I did a group session. So that's how I got teamed up with this one therapist guy. Uh, I'm curious to know, like, if anybody out there has done the group sessions, what do you think about them versus the one-on-one sessions? Has it helped you out? Is it better? Is it worse? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Civ Div, yeah, man. Let's schedule something, bud. I don't know your email, but I mean, if you want to let me know what you have available, either this week or next week, I'm you know, let's do it. I'm game. Quit a high paying tech job to my due to my disabilities. Yeah. Yeah. Wanted to circle back. No worries, man. Army band vet. Here in Florida, if you're 100% PNT, you're entitled to a special plate. Show up to the VAMC with it, and you'll see a bunch of them. Yeah, everybody knows. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're out there. I mean, you see them here in California too. They got the DV plates. Um, Army band vet. I'm curious, man. What instrument did you play in the band? I asked because my entire house is filled with euphonium and trombone noises. So from my kids playing in school. So I'm curious what you play. Robert Chalk Lab, Green Logbook, SibDiv, Salt Hill Marine, Raider, etc. Memorial Day coming up. We're still losing a lot of vets. Many haven't truly come home yet. Wouldn't it be nice to do some kind of special United TED Talk? That is a great idea, Robert Chalk Lab. I would be honored to share the screen with these gentlemen, with SibDib, Salty Old Marine, Raider, and talk and converse about things and talk about Memorial Day and significance and things like that. Maybe share old stories, pictures of those who have come before us, um, and share in the comments. So that is a that is a great topic, great conversation. Maybe all of us can get together and do something with that. You know, I love that. That's a great idea. Yeah, you don't have to say anything to anyone if they see you're like, yeah, yeah, we get it, right? If you see the license plate that has a DV or something like that, or a little handicap, they know your rating. The idea with this is, at least on social media, how prevalent it is and how easily accessible it is. Like, for instance, this Facebook page that I went on, somebody had put me on what they call the veteran TikTok culture, which I didn't know existed until I actually went on it and I sat there. I was in Guatemala. I took a trip with my wife to Guatemala, and I was sitting there um, in my Airbnb, like just relaxing and just on my computer, just checking things out. And I was like, oh, what the hell am I looking at? And it was literally people twerking in or whatever, dancing in VA parking lots and stuff. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. Some Marine sitting there in the audiogram. You know what I'm talking about, those little square rooms that you have to put the headphones on. You're sitting there and you're listening, and you're clicking, right? You're clicking the little, the red or the blue or whatever. And this dude's like this. That's his video, and in the caption it says, trying to get 100% VA disability. I actually explained this scenario when I was on with Concise Psych, Dr. Sharma. And that's fraud, dude. That is blatant fraud. Like, why would you even post that shit? Um, Social media has made people dumb, dude. Has made people just, I don't get it, man. If you are in Liberty Station, you better call me to get a call. Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely will. Um, I might be out there at some point. I'm not sure exactly where. I text this guy. He's a he's a reservist, chief petty officer, but he does a lot of art. We shared a lot of, um, not the stage, but we've done a lot of art exhibitions at the same places, and he's pretty big here in San Diego, doing a lot of veteran art. So um, he has a studio over there. You know how Liberty Station has all those art studios in one of those rooms, those buildings. So I'll be connecting with this guy, and if I make myself out there, I'll give you a call. Hellfish Haven, hey, welcome, buddy. Yeah, group is good if you're not talking and easing into it. Okay, as far as group counseling, gotcha. Group counseling, yeah, that was my big thing when they brought it up to me on the phone. Would you want to do one-on-one counseling or group counseling? I was like, nah. I feel like if I do group, I'm never going to be able to tell like the whole story, like be me completely. Um, I mean, it's already gone to the point where I've been on base at the library at one of these bases here, and somebody's like, "Hey," they recognize me, and not saying that I'm some fucking celeb or anything, but I'm like, I don't need somebody just like knowing me and just or seeing me around or something, just like, "Hey, this guy does this, and now he's here." Trombone and piano. Oh, awesome, dude. That's great, man. I love that. I love the way the piano says. I used to play the piano when I was younger, and I lost it. It's like I stopped doing it. I used to play in my church. I stopped doing it, man. I completely lost it. Did I share this thing? I can't remember if I shared this link. Hold on. There you go. Jump on the live stream if you dare. If anybody wants to jump on and share what they got going on, it's fine if you don't. It's all good. Just reading some of the comments here. It's great conversation. I was able to get some relief from EMDR, and I take medication as well. My experience with talk therapy at the vet center was the best. Awesome. Yeah, I will give it up to the EMDR though. EMDR is awesome. I'm curious. Did you do like the fingers back and forth, or did you do like the little buzzing thing in one hand and the other hand on both hands? So with your eyes closed, and then they ask you questions, and you sit there and you think about it. I have also done EMDR. Very, very good thing. One of the best things I have ever done. Took a lot of some experiences that I went through and then just kind of stacked it up. I think of it as a filing system in your mind. And then you're doing the EMDR, and it takes that file from being at the front of your mind, which is something that you always remember, and then it files it in the back of your mind. And, it's not at the forefront at every moment. So EMDR, I definitely do like that. Let me see here. I think group sessions could be good with the right therapist leading it. Also depends on what the veteran wants. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, we got Bruce here. Bruce. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, man? How you doing, Vic?
Life is good, man. Can't complain. Today I can't complain. I guess I can.
Well, you kept throwing that link up, and I just like, you know what? The hell with it. I'm just gonna just jump on. So
Yeah, man. Why not? Why not?
yeah,
That's what this is for, man. It's kind of a decompress session live stream in between my schooling, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just connect with the community, dude.
so bro, I woke up with a migraine this morning, and probably almost everyone in this group can attest to what that feels like. And
Mm,
it's just like, and then the HR person, sends us a little, question of the day, and it's like, it's like, yeah, what does your mind feel like right now? That was the question, honestly.
yeah,
So I said, well, dot dot dot. I'm having a migraine. I feel like I'm in a pounding thunderstorm. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
How does your mind feel right now? Well,
you
have you
know,
ever looked into a pot of oatmeal? Well,
no, it's good to be here, man. I've been wanting to. I did reach out to you. I believe it was last week, and
yeah.
as luck would have it, Bill and I have been trying. I've had the pleasure to speak with him. I think once or twice on the phone, and we text back and forth rarely. And we're getting ready to, and we'll do that in kind of a private. I'll tell you what's going on, but
Hmm.
because we haven't launched it yet, but really excited, and I want to kind of collaborate with a few of you guys, and I really enjoy this. And it was my idea for the company, and it got shot down until the CEO heard about it, and next thing you know, it's like he called me like on a 5:30 at 5:30 on a Friday night. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? We're totally doing this, whatever you need, man. And so
And
we're
what is
here.
that? What exactly is it, though?
So we're gonna start a podcast like you're doing.
Oh, okay, okay. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, good, good.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and Bill's actually going to be one of my, the old salty old Marine is going to be
Yeah.
one of my first guests, and I'm really looking forward to it. So we had a little problem with the name change and stuff like that, so I
Hmm.
haven't had the chance to reach out to Bill yet, by text or call him and let him know what's going on. But it's good to be here, and I just wanted to jump on and say hi to everybody. And oddly enough, how I met you, Vic, and this is the God's honest truth was I watch YouTube. I watch Clay, I watch Raider, I watch
Hmm.
Bill. I probably see, I know he's got like, I don't know, 600 episodes on his channel, and I probably watch like 300 of them. So that'll give us good content to talk about. But um, last week, I think it was, I'm just flipping through YouTube, and all of a sudden there's you and Bill. And I watched the whole thing, stayed up till 1:30 in the morning Eastern time.
Man.
I did. I did, but it was so cool because I was like, you guys are laughing and joking, and that is exactly, the kind of podcast that I'm going to be doing is just like a couple of guys just kind of bullshitting about what it was like before, during, and the transition back to civilian life. And it's just a
Yeah.
super cool, idea. And I'm really, really looking forward to doing this. And I
Yeah,
really am.
and it's fun. It's a
It's a
great
lot of
format.
fun.
It's a great way to connect and just build that camaraderie, that sense of tribe.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So a lot of us, me including, kind of miss that. So it's a great
agreed.
way to kind of bring that back to life a little bit,
Agreed.
and it gives me
Yeah,
a
no,
reason to go on and with several cups of coffee as well. So
no, I just I think you're like super smooth at what you do, and
I appreciate it.
our channel hasn't hit the YouTube world yet, and when it
Hmm.
does, you and Bill, obviously will be Clay if I can get him to you just try to build your brand,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, I'm riding without wheels right now, but everything is in place. I mean, everything. And I'm really looking forward to doing this and talking to vets. I've got a whole list here of guests that so, and with the business, what we do, we do help veterans, and I don't want to get into that. We'll get into that. That's for
Sure.
another podcast. But I did, when you threw the link up on here, I did want to join, and everybody's made just nothing but valid comments, and I understand that I didn't catch your video, and I apologize for that, but I
No,
know
that's
you
fine.
had
That's
some
fine.
problems last week, brother, and I get it, and we all get it, and that's why we're all here, and we're all still. I was talking to one of my vets a couple of weeks ago, and I told him, I said, we may have left the battlefield, but we're still in the fight, and we're still all
Hmm.
brothers and sisters, till the end, and
That's it.
I
That's it.
truly believe that.
Yeah, yeah, and this is a great outlet to kind of get your frustrations out as well, because a lot of folks are going through those same things, and that essentially was the video that I put up there, and I only kept it up for a few hours. It was more of me speaking to the camera, speaking to the audience, whoever wanted to listen, about
Sure.
real things, kind of like raw and unedited things that I was going through, um, and that's not usually my style. That's not usually like what I mean. I do like to be truthful and honest, but um, I also edit a lot of my stuff, right? With
Sure.
taking out all the uhs and ums and things like that. But I
Oh yeah.
figured, you know what?
Yep.
I just put up a camera. Well, however this comes out is how it comes out. I don't care. This is the real me,
Sure.
and let me give you the real me here for a minute.
Yeah,
So
no,
it was good
I get
to
that.
get that.
I totally get that. I mean, I know there's going to be a time where if I don't do it right now, I'm going to try to be my best to, kind of hold my composure. But I do have some claims in myself right now that, to try
Mhm.
to, I've been out for a long, long time. Bill and I kind of talked about it, and, I'm 66 years old. I've been out for 44 years.
Mhm.
And, we always have that one best buddy in our platoon or whatever. We lived in the barracks together. We lived off post, together. We dated sisters. I mean, it was just a freaking blast.
Yeah.
And, I had talked to him. It was in January, I believe it was. And I said, he goes, brother, he goes, you're just not like the same person. He goes, you're still cool and all that. And he goes, but, I just noticed a little, kind of this, and they kind of described it like up and down, up and down. Cause I call him one day,
Right.
I'd be like down and so that was on a Friday night in January 17th, I think it was. And the next day I kept getting this phone call and kept getting this phone call. And I don't answer, Vic, I don't answer calls I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just kept on hammering me and hammering. So finally I picked up the phone. I said, what? And they said, is this Bruce? I said, yes. And they said, well, this is, Dave Anderson's daughter. And I just wanted to let you know he passed away a few hours ago, suddenly. And it was like, whew, talk
Yeah.
about anxiety, that freaking
Exactly.
sucked, bro,
Yeah. I can
So,
imagine.
and it's kind of like, I don't want to like keep on going about it, but I miss my friend and I miss our conversations. And it kind of took me back into that place where, the military wasn't a bad thing. It made a man out of me. I was freaking jacked when I got out, and
Yeah.
now all the groceries are covering that shit up. You know what I mean? But
It's
it's
still
just,
there. It's still there.
yeah, it's still there. It's just covered up with groceries. So, but no, I just miss my buddy, man. And, I always give him a shout out and shout
Absolutely.
out to Sergeant Anderson, man. He's a cool dude, man. He's super, super cool dude. So, and
I
I'll
love that, man.
always kind of have him, he'll be right here, brother. You know that. So, but
Yeah.
I raised a bunch of money for him, for his family on a GoFundMe, which was cool. And,
Good.
bless his heart, man. He was one of those people who were born with nothing and died with nothing, and that's, we all make our own bed. It is what it is. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I did do my
life
my
story.
brotherly duty and help him out and, his family. And I think he'd be proud of me for doing that.
No, that's excellent, man. That's really all you can do. I mean, he that was his life story, and I'm glad that ultimately you were a part of that. So that's what
Well,
matters.
I just still check on his wife, every week or so, and
Yeah,
hey, you need anything? That's what we do. So
absolutely. That's
yeah,
awesome, man. Yeah, I'd love to jump on a podcast episode, or is it going to be YouTube or just podcast that you're doing?
no, YouTube and
YouTube.
Spotify and the whole gamut. We want to
Gotcha.
build a brand a little bit, but it's just all stories, just like we're talking about right now. Just a couple of old
Yeah.
cats, just kind of BSing about what it. It's. I'm just so freaking excited. I see the excitement in Clay's voice, like when he was kind of teasing everything and getting ready to
Yeah.
roll out, and him and Raider, and they're doing good things for good veterans, and
Hmm.
that's kind of what we do on this side too, and I really super stoked about this. I had been telling my wife for 5 years, and you're probably going to get this. It took me a couple of weeks to build this studio, and I found myself, and I have to put it like this. Do you remember when you got your first car, Vic?
I do. Yes. Very
Okay,
much
so there's
so.
nothing in the world like it, right? It's like having a
That's
child.
right.
It's like, you feel like you're walking like this high off the ground, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you come home from a date or you're out with your buddies, and you shut the door and then you look out the window and you look at that car, man. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
that's so cool, And it could have been like the biggest piece of crap that you ever driven in your life, but it
But it
was
was
yours.
yours.
Bought it,
That's it.
right? So,
That's it.
but I put all this effort and energy and sleepless nights into building this thing, and and I walk by the room, and I look in the studio, and I'm like, I just stand there and I stare at it, and I'm like, this is so freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
going
all
back
you.
to when I was 16 years old.
That's it. It's a great thing, man. I kind of do the same thing sometimes when I don't have a messy desk when it's all cleaned. I stand back and I'm like, okay, this is my spot, right?
Yeah.
It was very much so. We have an extra room in the house, and we turned this one into the studio slash my office, because
Sure.
I needed somewhere to do my work. Right, I just needed somewhere quiet where I can close the door. But yeah, I do stand by here sometimes, and I'm like, man, this is it. I built something
Yeah.
that is me. So
Yeah, I
I
got
do
it's all
appreciate that.
soundproofed and stuff. It's just super neat, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still working on the soundproof stuff because I do have some neighbors who like to cut grass and stuff. So I can only
Yeah.
do so much soundproof in here.
Well, these mic, you look like you got the same mic I do. I mean, all the podcasters are using them, and
Hmm.
and I really like this microphone a lot. And when I got out of the military, I spent 15 years in the radio business, so getting behind a microphone again is kind of like second nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of connecting with Wreaths Across America Radio?
So I have not, and that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of reaching out to these people. I reached out to Bill. I haven't yet
Mhm.
reached out to Clay. I mean, I feel like I know him because you watch their show all the time, and but it's like I'm not trying to promote our business. I'm just trying to promote the podcast. That's all it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
and that's nothing other than that. No ill intent. I try to keep it about as
Right.
clean as I can. We do have veteran language, as you know, so that we all
Oh yeah.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
So
it comes out sometimes, but I will tell you that. So I run the military retirement podcast on Sundays with my co-host John, who's also a retired chief warrant officer, but he's over on the Army side. Um, so we are part of the Wreaths Across America Radio Network on iHeartRadio, and that
right
gets
on.
streamed on Friday nights.
That's pretty
So
cool.
yeah, so I mean, there's a possibility. I know they have some open slots because sometimes they're looking to shift, depending
Sure.
on ratings, depending on all that
Sure.
stuff. However they look at it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
I mean,
possibility.
like I said, Vic, it's like I just want to have like people like you, and I plan to
Hmm.
have Bill on here, and I'll be calling him here soon, and
Excellent.
and it's like, yeah, just a sit down, couple of veterans, just talking about what it was like. I did make my studio big enough to where I'm lucky enough to have two booms, two mics, two
Nice.
chairs, so I live in a community like where we got a, you know, I'm not going to dox myself, but Bill knows where I live, and I'll share you with. I live in
Mhm.
Florida. Let's just put it that
Yeah.
way, and not a very nice community, and we're at the lake and all that good stuff, and life is good. And I'm lucky enough to live by an E9. He was a command sergeant, command sergeant major, and his name is Bruce too, and he lives down a couple blocks from me. Just like a dude, like like some guys just like look like military guys. He looks like he
Mm.
screams command sergeant major. Just the
Yeah.
look of him, he's just like 100% American badass. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And so I kind of want to have him come over here one night, and the wives can go out and you know have a glass of wine or whatever, and him and I just lay down a podcast. And I'm looking forward to just like little stuff like that.
I love that, man. That's good.
Yeah, it's
Connecting
pretty cool.
there, even in person too. That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you're
Yeah.
good. You're
So,
you're doing good things, Vic.
I appreciate it, man. When are you thinking to starting your first
So
episode?
I would like to have that. Let's just put it this way, probably in about a month. I
Hmm.
have some stuff on the shelf. I have two shows that are already done and edited and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The good thing about this is I kind of wish I was doing. I don't know what program you do yours through. I mean, I know this is live on YouTube, but I know I have a program called The Script, but I
Hmm.
wanted to do Riverside, and I very well may change it. But the nice thing about it is once I laid the show down, I own the program. So I mean, the company owns it theoretically, but I have to give them permission. You know how that works, right? So
Yeah.
it's just, the owner and the editor, and our editor
Hmm.
lives in Washington State. So as long as they have permission, they can go in and see what I laid down. Then they just pull it out, and he edits it, down in post. So, and then we'll do shorts and stuff like that. But I have watched literally, including your show and Clay's, Raiders, and you know, and God bless Combat Craig. I just finally got the whole. I watched one of Clay's shows for a
Yeah.
few months ago, and what a sad deal that is, bro. Wow, I don't ever
Yeah.
want to pass like that, bro. Ever.
No, hell no,
That
man.
was
Yeah.
sad.
So,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
really
it
sad.
definitely is, man. And I didn't hear about it till after. And I'm like, I didn't really
Yeah,
know the guy. He came around,
yeah,
or I found out his stuff when I
but
started. So,
yeah, but you know what, bro? You bring up like a really valid point. I've never met Clay. I've never texted him. I've never spoken with him on the phone.
mhm.
But you watch them all the time. I watch his live stuff lately, and and him Raider, and
Yeah,
it's just like you still have this connection with these people where
right,
you
right.
feel
Of
like
course.
them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think you brought up a good point. When Bill and I first talked, he finally texted me back and said, is this a good time to call you? I'm like, well, sure. Might have been on a Friday night, Thursday night, whatever it was. And
Hmm.
so we talked for a while, and he goes, yeah, you're gonna make some really good friends, and people will really like you, and they'll tell you just like it is. Or I can't remember. I'm paraphrasing, but
Hmm.
and I'm looking forward to that. And just like
Yeah.
some kind of like on our videos that we have right now on YouTube, some people say some really nasty stuff, man. And I have to block them, and
They're
on
they're they're
Facebook and stuff.
everywhere, man.
It's just bad. It's like you call yourself a veteran saying shit like that. You know what I mean? Come on, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, they're everywhere, man. And you can establish a moderator. Like we have a moderator here.
correct,
It's a
correct,
Navy cop, right? So
right.
he can block folks. He can take this garbage off the
You
chat.
know, so here's my hope and my prayer that this show
Mhm.
takes off and it does good things. And if we help a few veterans along the way,
Yeah.
even if it's just somebody like myself, I mean, and you'll get this, Vic. If you're laying in bed at night, I watch these guys every
Yeah.
night, and it's just like you just feel like this, you have this connection to them, and it's just super cool. Being in the military, it's just like what I didn't like. If you have to ask me, like one thing I didn't like about the military was you know, like you be palled up with somebody, you know, like whether you're rooming with them in the barracks or
Hmm.
whatever, and you know, you're just like totally hitting it off, and you're doing bro things and all this stuff, and next thing you know, they're coming with papers. You know, it's like, hey, you're going to another duty station. You know, they PCS, and you never
Oh
see them
no.
again. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. So it kind of sucked. That's what I didn't like about the
Yeah,
military.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Just
it
when
is
you're
what
having a
it is.
good time, they slap that paper on you. You're
Exactly,
like,
100%,
ah,
100%.
yeah, yeah. I'm there with you, man.
Yeah,
I got orders to 29 Palms at one point in time, and I'm like, I am not going out to 29 Palms. How can I change this? And we got it switched to somewhere else, so it was a sigh of relief. But
sure.
yeah, right when I was having a great time, they slapped those orders on me. I'm like, damn it, I got to move the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. And like all your brothers, man, you just like all these guys that you going out clubbing with and, you know,
Yeah,
working on cars with in the parking lot and all that good stuff. And it just like all goes away. And then, you know, it's just, but you also know that there's another group of guys coming in that you're going to hit it off with equally as well. So
yeah, 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 exactly. So it's kind of a built-in brotherhood and sisterhood, right?
100%.
It really
Yes.
is, really is. But yeah, I will answer your email, and we'll get on, and we'll get on I'll get on your
I
schedule, dude.
wasn't, hey, bro, I wasn't busting on you. You know that, right? I truly wasn't.
No, you know what, man? Here's the thing, man, and I'm sure you get this all the time, and especially when I did this thing where I gave out my email address on the live stream a couple times, and then started getting some uh, both folks wanting to advertise to
Sure.
me, and then
Sure.
people who wanted to help me build the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I get so much spam email now, and I'm like, man, I don't know if it was a good idea to give my email out on the live stream.
Yeah.
So,
You
so
know,
I not to say that yours was that, but I'm like, okay, let me get to that one in a few. Let me get to that one in a
it's
few.
all right. It's all good. It's all good. You know, I can like usually decipher like, you know,
Mhm.
like, and I know that you were going to respond to me because it would have said, you know, regarding or whatever, you
Yeah.
know, but you know, but to your point, you make a very, very valid point. And, you know, just like Bill's point on your live stream, you know, last week when I just I happened to catch it, and I'm so glad I did.
Mhm.
If I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't be here with you right now. Honestly,
Yeah.
I really wouldn't.
Well, that's
So
awesome,
it's,
man. That things work
yeah,
for a
it's
reason.
cool. It is, and
Yeah.
you know, there is. We have a new girl, you know, at our work, and you know, everybody works remotely, obviously, and she is just like so cool. And you know, we talk every once in a while, and you know, we're both of the belief that there is absolutely no coincidence. Like things are supposed to happen like they're supposed to happen. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I believe in that. Not everybody does, and that's fine. You know, that's everybody's got their own gig, and that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're of the same belief.
Yeah, yeah. Not a big churchgoer, but real spiritual. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I get it, man.
Yeah,
I'm there with
yeah,
you.
yeah. But and talking about heaven, you know, I mean, segue into this. I happened to be out your
Yeah.
way. I was in Oceanside and stayed
Yeah.
at the Sea Breeze, I think, or Seabird, I think it was.
Yeah.
Nice place, dude. Oh, that place
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
really nice. And I happened to stay there during my first uh, earthquake.
Oh,
And that
wow.
was a little bit of a trippy thing for me. It lasted about
Yeah.
8 seconds, but I've never been in one. And, you know, I did live in Oklahoma for 23 years, and, you know, tornadoes were like, you know, they're bad, but it's kind of like, I dig them. They're beautiful. You know what I mean? If they're not getting into your stuff, because they can really mess your life up bad. So, but no, it's
Yeah.
all
I've
good.
not been through a tornado. I had one just a few days ago. It was something very minor, but I have, I just bought some palm trees for the front yard. I have not planted them yet. They're sitting in their pot.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm familiar
all
with
of a
the
sudden,
expensive process.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
I'm sitting outside. I'm in my front yard. I have this little couch thing. I'm doing my homework there. And all of a sudden, this out of nowhere, the strong breeze comes through, like the palm trees go flying. And I have these wood chips that are in the front yard, right? And these wood chips are flying in a circle. I'm like, what the hell is happening? What is this? This doesn't
Yeah.
happen around
Dust
here.
devil.
Yeah. So that thing was, yeah, it really blew things around.
Oh yeah.
But Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can only imagine the ones in Oklahoma, the huge ones,
Oh,
man. I can
dude,
only
man,
imagine
I
that.
remember, I remember I was like, this is like, I think like early, it was May. I'll tell you exactly when it was. It was May
Yeah.
of 2013. And I had just got home. I had been seeing this girl, you know how that gets, and
Hmm.
I got home living with my buddy. And I just looked up at the sky and it was just like really super eerie, man. It was like really eerie. And next thing you know, there was like all over the TV and it like wiped out
Oh,
neighborhoods and schools. And
yeah. Forget
it
that.
was really, really bad, you know. So yeah, knocked out the hospital. That hit the hospital and threw all these cars into the cafeteria. It was really bad.
Wow.
And yeah, my niece, she worked at that hospital, so it was like holy crap, this is like really close to home now, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine, dude.
Yeah, they're no
That's
joke.
crazy stuff.
So yeah, it is. So, but it is. I wanted to thank you again for
Oh,
giving me a
absolutely,
few,
dude.
few minutes to come on, and we'll catch up later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. I got no issues with that, man. I will answer now that I know that you are a real person. I will answer your
Yeah,
stuff,
I am
man.
a real person. Yeah. I can't see, when I clicked onto your link, it put me in the, what was it, backstage or something? Is that what
Yeah.
it did? So I
Backstage,
can't
right?
see, like your comments or anything like that. I can't see anything of that. It's like I'm in my own room now here, like I'm in
Ah, yeah.
timeout, but I
Yeah.
can only see you. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, but
That's how it is, man. So, no, but I appreciate you coming on, man, and I'm sure we'll connect a little bit more. And I'm excited to see where yours goes too.
me too. And
Excited.
thank you for that. And I truly am. I don't even want to put the name out yet because we had a little, incident. Like I was going to call it this right here is Voices of Valor. We can
Yeah.
see it behind me, and then we were kind of going over things. And it's like there's a singing group up in like New Jersey named that, when they're all military veterans. And then some dude, has a podcast that he's only
Yeah.
done once, but he's coincidentally named that. So I
Yeah.
felt like a complete jerk and beat myself down for like not doing my research. So the new name will be up soon, and I'll tell you when we talk
Yeah.
of what
Absolutely,
it
dude.
what
Yeah.
it
No
is and
rush.
stuff like that. But it'll be out soon, and I'm
Yeah.
really
No
looking
rush,
forward to
dude.
it. And it'll be even better name than that, because it's gonna, like, when you search for it, you'd be like, boom, it should come right up. If you're a
Gotcha.
veteran looking for a service, it'll come right up.
Good. Good. Well, I'm looking forward
Mhm.
to it, man. You're
So
building it up, so it's got to be good now. It's got to be good.
yeah, yeah. And Parlor Donuts is awesome, by the way. Have you ever been over there?
What is it now? Parlor Donuts?
Parlor Donuts over in Oceanside. It's like right on top of the
No.
hill.
No, no, I haven't.
Man,
I'm
dude,
assuming I don't go to Oceanside too much, but it
it's
has changed
beautiful, bro.
significantly. Yeah,
Wow.
it used to be where you were like, I used to go and frequent that because I was stationed at Camp Pendleton for my first TV
Sure,
station,
sure. Yeah, we
and
went by there on the
man, it was
train, by the way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So they have the
Yeah,
train
we
there,
got on
and
the train
uh,
in right by Angel Stadium.
mhm, over in Anaheim,
Correct. And we were staying in
Anaheim. Yep.
Newport Beach at my
Mhm.
brother-in-law's.
Oh,
That's
that's
where he
nice.
lives. Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. But they built
Yeah,
so
their
many
life doesn't
hotels
suck.
around Oceanside, man. It's really built up now,
It's
but a lot of the newer businesses, like I've
it,
not frequented.
I went out on the pier, and I got some
Yeah.
great video from like the room, and
Hmm.
I like to take pictures and stuff, so that was cool. It was for my wife's business trip, and I just kind of tagged along,
Tagged
and that
along.
was
Hey, you
awesome.
got to do it, man. You
Yeah,
got to
it
do
was
it.
awesome. So yeah, so but really, again, Vic, thank you so much, man.
No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for coming on, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
I'll answer your
And
email here shortly.
yeah, take your time. I think I might have put my phone number in there too for you, buddy.
Yeah, I'll check it
Want
out
to make
here.
sure. Yeah.
No, no, I just have your email, but
Okay,
nonetheless, man, I'll respond to it.
that's cool. All good.
Awesome, buddy. Hey, well,
All right,
man,
man.
Bruce, man, I really appreciate you, man, coming on. And
Thank you.
great
I
talk, and thanks
appreciate
for
you.
sharing a little bit of what you have going on.
Yeah. Well, if you're a friend of Bill's, you're a friend of mine.
Sounds good to me, man.
Yeah,
Likewise.
man. All right, brother.
All right, man, take it
I,
easy.
I, I don't know. I guess, do I hit the red button here and kick
No,
myself
I
out?
got you here.
You
I
gonna
got you
kick me
here.
out? Right on.
All right. Here we go. So give me a second. I think we have Gunny Brian online. Give me a second. I hear the dog crying in the backyard. I gotta let the dog in here. I will get back to you here in 1 second. Let me put this this out of office reply here real quick. How can I share this thing? Bamses, I'm back in. Let's see. What do we got going on? Comments. Let's Hellfish Haven, man. Hey, thank you for that, dude. My man has been a member for 5 months. Hit the like, subscribe button while y'all are here. I truly appreciate that. Please do so. Thank you, Hellfish Haven, for being a member, dude. Gunny Brian, man, what's going on, dude? How you doing?
What's up, brother man? Can you hear me?
What's going on? Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, man. Thanks
Awesome.
for standing by, bud.
Yeah, no worries. So I just wanted to put out there, hey, just remember, I love the podcast. I love talking about all this stuff, but get out there, get some fresh air, see some people in person too.
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
that is key. Last night I went to a veteran beer club event that they were having at University of San Diego. Fantastic time. Ran into
Yeah.
people that some I had known for a while, some I had just met, and I mean had a blast. Just
Awesome.
Seeing friends and seeing people in person. I think it just kind of energizes me. you know.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, it's too easy to just stay online constantly and play video games and, stay within your house. You got to get outside. You got to do some other stuff and get a little fresh air, because
Hell yeah.
you know where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. You got to get that fresh air, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's key, dude. And you can't stay in those four walls forever, man. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely there with you. I'm definitely there
Yeah.
with you. I try to get outside as much as possible, get some sunshine in,
Yep.
and I mean, you kind of can't get it in living out here in SoCal, right? I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, there's tons of trails and stuff like that. I'm curious, did you see German out there when you went out there? Because he's always around those
He
areas.
wasn't at the event last night.
Mhm.
I did talk to him on the phone, though. I asked if he was going to be there. But
Yeah.
I also want to put it out there to everybody in the San Diego area. Veterans Beer Club in May is going to be the 10th annual anniversary. It's going to be a huge event. So
Oh man, so
definitely
what
go.
is it, a huge event like what wet t-shirt contest or like what
Yeah, I
how
don't know
wild
about
are we
all
gonna go
that,
out here?
man. We were not. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't, like I said, I don't want to see me as a wet t-shirt contest.
Oh,
That ain't gonna be good. Yeah. So
hey.
yeah, I'm gonna make you laugh so hard you cough and die, huh?
Oh
But
no, I hope not, dude.
yeah. But no, the Veterans Beer Club. Just go on their website, type in Veterans
Yeah.
Beer Club, San Diego, and all the info is on there. But the 10th, anniversary of the founding and creation of it,
Mhm.
it's going to be really good. And I think it's in Carlsbad. So,
Ah,
but
okay. Damn. What the hell?
yeah, but
All the way up
all
there?
the details are on there, but it'll be a really good event. A lot of people, but just get out there, get some fresh air, shake hands with people. So
Yeah, no, I still got to make it out to one, man. I'm not even tracking like some of these like VFWs around here too also have events, and I'm like,
yeah,
I guess I don't jump on like LinkedIn and Facebook as much as I probably have in the past. So I miss all these events.
sure.
Then I'm like, hey, when are you guys having this? When are you guys doing that? They're like some award show or some awards event for veterans somewhere around here in San Diego. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, there was some kind of veterans like film festival or something like
Hmm.
that coming up too.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's all
they
kinds of
usually have that
stuff.
down by
Yeah, yeah, I
Balboa
think
Park.
so. I think so. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's the beauty of San Diego and this region. We have so many veterans, so we have tons of veteran events.
yeah, yeah. That is.
So for people in this area, I really hope you don't just think that you're alone and you're stuck in your house and I got my Facebook friends but no one else. Like, dude, get out there, talk to people, have a cup of coffee, have a conversation, and
Yeah,
just, you are not in the fight alone. So that's
yeah. I agree. I agree, man. It's there's a lot beyond that door and those four walls. So same thing we tell people all the time.
yeah,
There's no need to stay inside all the time.
yeah,
Go outside and walk in some grass. It's kind of hard to do that sometimes in San
yeah,
Diego, but
yeah,
walk on some turf, I suppose, if you get
yeah,
a chance.
yeah. Dodge some rattlesnakes on the turn on the hiking pass. You got the snakes out where you're at. I'm good on that. I
Yeah,
got,
yeah. There's snakes out here. There's
yeah.
rabbits that run
I got
around.
you got the snakes. I got the stingrays.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do have a good time with the slingshot every so often. These damn groundhogs around here, but
Nice, nice. Yeah.
yeah, that's fun.
Hey, remember you can do the veterans version of Caddyshack.
Yeah, there you go.
Make Mr. Gopher out of that C4. Come on.
Oh man, I'll have to let the neighbors know first before I blow that up.
Hey, I just wanted to chime in and say hey. But
Yeah,
good
man. No,
seeing you,
it's good
brother.
having you, buddy. You too.
Yep.
You too. Good having you.
All right. Later.
Later, man. So yeah, a lot of good info, a lot of good connections out there. And just like Brian mentioned, man, it's really good to get out your full walls and connect. Let me see. I got people send me text messages here, and it just shows up on my screen. I should probably put on Do Not Disturb. Let me go to the chat here really quick. I think I missed a whole lot of what's going on here. Mm. All right. The Hellfish Haven, man, you're wild for this one. Can you paint me like one of your French girls? Um, I probably could, but I don't want to. Is that a sufficient answer? um, I'd love to try one of those MDMA or that plant root that makes you purge. Which plant root is that? Are you talking about ibogaine? Ibogaine is what they took on that documentary in Waves and War. Ibogaine, and it was some kind of toad serum that they extracted from a toad or a frog. And essentially, the ibogaine makes you hallucinate, and then the serum after the fact kind of polishes you out and kind of ends that whole hallucination thing. But yeah, there's a whole lot, and I'm actually talking to an old friend of mine who went through a lot of this psychedelic stuff. So I'm gonna former Marine, retired Marine. I'm gonna have him on the show here at some point in time to talk a little bit about it. Yeah, shout out to Oscar Mike Radio by Travis Partington, USMC vet. Him and Hellfish Haven do War We Are Resilient stream Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Eastern time, yeah. So that's what 4 my time. Is it on Hellfish? Is it on YouTube or is it a podcast? Like how? Well, I guess if you guys stream, it's probably YouTube, huh? Drop a link to that if you can. I think I opened it up so we can drop links, but Hellfish, drop a link to that that We Are Resilient stream that you do on Thursdays. GC Jarhead, hey, welcome, man. Welcome. Afternoon, all simplify on the road so it can't hang long. That's what she said. No, I'm sorry. I just had to. I'm sorry. You opened that door. Welcome. Let me see. Hellfish Haven chat. He's leaving us for a long time. Had to get crazy. No, man. When the cat's away, the mice will play, right? No, this was had to let the dog in, man. Had to let the dog in. Let's see. Had a soldier demoted from trying to bring roids back from Iraq. The MPs at Drum only checked the carry-on for fellow MPs. He could put it in his pocket, but he put orange pills in icebreakers tin. I'm curious how, like, they checked the icebreakers tin, or did like dogs sniff it out? I'm curious how they found that out. He had it sitting on top of his salt pack like a dummy. Huh. Yeah, absolutely. OT. Benefits of SoCal sunny every day. Yeah. For the most part, the last few days have been a little overcast, but right now it is sunny as can be. Yes, sir. Hellfish. Ayahuasca. So switch the W with an H. And then HUASKA. This is just me being an asshole. Yes, ayahuasca. So that is, I have a friend who is a shaman who does, he's also a Marine Corps veteran, but he has shamans in his family line. And he does a lot of trips for veterans out to Peru to do ayahuasca trips. So very cool. I've thought of it myself, but honestly, that, it scares the shit out of me, to be honest. So I have not gone down that road yet. So we will see. Love yourself. Hey, welcome. God bless all brothers and sisters. Thank you for your military service. Semper Fidelis. Awesome. Semper Fidelis. Love that. Semper Fi. Yeah. Yeah, you're not lying. High taxes. Yes, yes. But you know what I found though? A lot of places that have high taxes. I mean, not specifically California. If you look around the world, like places like Norway and, a lot of the best places to live around the world have really high taxes, but that's because the government covers a lot of stuff like healthcare with those taxes, universal healthcare, parental leave, things like that. So if you just do some research on that one. I mean, I like reading about this for whatever reason. Then I wondered, like Finland and Norway and a lot of these Danish countries who are the happiest in the world also have some of the highest taxes. And, a lot of these folks do, you put out high taxes, but you also get some stuff in return. Now, California has high taxes, but I mean, our taxes don't go towards the weather, I suppose. I guess it does if you count in like cost of living out here for a sunny place. But Bruce, man, good talking to you, buddy. Yeah, I will definitely be in contact with you. I like the your photo on there. It's like they caught you by surprise. Yeah. So no, hey, good stuff today. It was started out with a whole lot of talk about this disabled veterans group that I found on LinkedIn. It was sent to me. I jumped on the group. I didn't join on the group because it is a public group, but I was looking through it. I'm like, why is everybody sharing this stuff? Their VA disability ratings. What does that matter to anybody else? Why do we share this stuff? And I'm thinking about like the mental state, the human behavior, what causes us to want to share things like that. And I think the All Salty Marine mentioned it here in the chat when he said, um, a lot of veterans have fought so long that they feel the need. They're overjoyed and they want to share that joy, right? But at what point is it sharing the joy, and at what point is it like bragging and flaunting and being, just oversharing the stuff? Now, this one seems a little bit different from what I came across on TikTok, and I don't even know if I can log into TikTok here. Let me check this out. I don't have TikTok on my phone. I don't have Instagram on my phone. I don't have Facebook on my phone or anything like that. Oh, no shit. I got 26 followers on TikTok. I started a TikTok channel and I have like 4 or 5 videos up. But then I never post it. I never post anything on here. So I'm sure I got people that are like crapping all over me on these TikToks. I'm looking for some of this stuff here. 100%. Give me a second here. I'll pull it up here. It's very interesting. So there, if you haven't already come across it, and it's called something to the effect of VA disability culture on TikTok. And this is kind of what I'm talking about here. Let me share this here. Let's see here. 100%. Oh, so let me just 100 disability VA. That's all I'm putting on here. I don't know if y'all can hear this. thank you to people that made my life hell and nuts, and I felt like my only option was to join the military, make it out, and now I'm paid for life. Mill talk. Okay.
Veterans, if you are a VA disability rating and this.
Okay.
I am 100% service-connected disabled veteran. I typically always try to avoid using the word disabled or disability when I try to explain it to people, especially civilians. In my last video, I mentioned it. I was just like kind of having a conversation. I didn't really think about it because that's what it is, 100% disability. From the VA Veterans Affairs, which is...
Okay, let's just talking about it.
100% disability. I know you've seen that video. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not out. I don't know why y'all keep saying, oh, you're out. You're abusing the system, blah, blah, blah. I'm not abusing the system. I just told a story of somebody that happened to be.
I just want y'all to know that it's no secret to getting 100%. It's no secret. The information is there. I'm telling y'all, it's as simple as taking your ass to the motherfucking doctor.
All right, that's cute. Oh, there's old Clay right there. I don't think he's giving out any bad information though, but I mean, there's a lot of folks that just kind of overshare, I think.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pill at night, you know, I gave you everything I had.
You did.
I gave you everything I had.
Do you have disability?
I do have disability.
What percentage?
I'm at 100%.
What was your disability?
Mental health and a bunch of joint issues.
Okay. And is that actually from your service being a medical person?
Yes.
Or is that what your body would be at today, including mental? I have mental health issues. If I went in the military and, you know, didn't get any of them from the military, it's just because I have mental health issues, my panic disorder, I could still get a claim and say it's because of the military. You understand that?
Well, if you had panic issues, first, they wouldn't allow you to qualify for the military.
Well, I don't know if I had that at 18 or not, but
if you can prove that the military caused your mental health issues, that's
how can you
fine.
prove that?
There's a whole review process.
How'd you prove it?
So I went through this.
Man, I can't stand that dude, man.
Let's go over the benefits that you get and are entitled to when you have 100% disability. I'll start off by saying that this varies from state to state, right?
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you guys get the gist of it, right? I'm just kind of flipping through here. All right, yeah. So you guys get the gist of it. No need to share this, right? Why are we sharing this? I've talked about it a lot, and I know a lot of folks out there they talk about it too. But man, I mean, there's old Dave there. I talked to Dave in the past, so yeah, you all get it. You all get it. So, and then that one Facebook group as well. That it's all disabled veterans. I don't get it. You know, I simply don't. So OT, yeah. Why can't they just enjoy what they have without sharing? Yeah, a lot of these veterans feel the need to share, to overshare. You know, why can't they just be happy with what we have? Be humble, right? Be humble. The last girl on there was dancing. It looked like somebody had walked in on her while she was dancing. You know, so it's a black eye, and the optics are terrible. So, yeah, and I think you're talking about that one Caleb dude. The interviewer is a real dirtbag. Yeah, I don't like his demeanor. I don't like the way he does that, and then how it's. Yeah, I'll keep it at that. Yes, I concur with your analysis of that interviewer. Backwoods Law. Hey, yeah, a green log bug. Is it boiled steak day yet? You all like that, huh? You all give me some crap about my boiled steak. Hey, you can't knock it until you try it, right? You take some milk. It's got to be full cream milk, right? Like not the 1%, just the regular milk. And you take a pot, you boil the milk, and then you drop like a nice ribeye in there, and just boil the steak in the milk. Oof, comes out nice. What do you think about that, Backwoods Law? You want to try the boiled steak? Oh man. So let me see here. Yeah. So let me just kind of give you a recap or wrap this up in a recap of what I mentioned, what I talked about. It's already almost 1 o'clock, right? I got to get some work done here. At the end of the day, thank you all for coming through and talking to me about that video and commenting on that video I put out yesterday. Now, being out of the military affects people in different ways, okay, at different times. And it kind of hit me hard at one point, all at once. And not that anything negative was going on in my life. I have a great life. I enjoy it. I have a great family, healthy family and all that. I'm doing my schoolwork. I'm in a master's program. Things seem like they're going good. But at some point in time, you kind of think back and you start missing what you had. We're so quick to want to get out of the military when we're a little bit younger that we think everything's going to be all sunshine and rainbows. And then when I look back on it, I'm like, man, I kind of miss all the BS that I was going through because it's a lot different when you get out. So that coupled with, just emotions, and that coupled with that therapist that I talked about, that I fired, that I didn't have him fired. I just told him, hey, look, I don't want to see you anymore for this reason. He called me back. He was like, hey, what happened? I thought, you put something on the VA site saying that you didn't want to see me anymore. And I'm like, yeah, because you told me some BS that no veteran should freaking hear. And, that's how that went down. He's like, what are you talking about? Well, here's what I'm talking about. So we cut ties, simple as that. But, when all those things happen all at once, then, you get all these emotions that build up. And that's the reason why I made that video yesterday. I'm completely fine. I'm okay. I'm completely fine. I love my life. I love doing research and I love talking to veterans. I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. So I appreciate everybody who reached out about that. And talking a little bit about VA disability stuff and how, just be humble about it. You get your VA disability rating, be humble about it. There's no need to jump on this disabled veterans Facebook page with 115,000 people in it and sharing photos of yourself and saying, hey, my name's so-and-so, 20 years in the military, I'm 100% VA disabled. Why? Who cares? Cool. There's no need for you to share that trash. Cool. So just a lot of stuff that, we just, as vets, and if you look at my interview that I had with Concise Psych, Dr. Sharma, we were talking about like UCMJ and the honor, courage, commitment type of code that we live by, like at least me in the Marine Corps live by honor, courage, and commitment. And he was like, man, I wish veterans had some kind of a code like that. Like we had while we were in service, where you honor, courage, and commitment type of thing. And I'm like, yeah, well, we don't. I understand what he means, but we don't. Once you're out, you're out. So, it's unfortunate, but you can't control everybody, and I'm not trying to, but it just kind of irks me a little bit when I read this stuff. Hellfish Haven, being poor growing up, cube steak was my favorite. Yeah, man, cube steak is awesome, dude. Cube steak is awesome. I love that. Always a blessing when the Lord is my alarm clock. I agree with that. I really agree with that. He awakens us for another day, and stay active and enjoy the outdoors and nature with family and friends. Have a blessed week. Thank you very much. Love yourself. That is an awesome message. I truly appreciate that. Elvis Shaven. Also, something I've learned recently was about imposter syndrome and how that can be a kick to the crotch. Yeah, Elfish, man, elaborate on that a little bit. What about it? What about imposter syndrome? Backwoods Law, just don't let them talk you into a piled higher and deeper. Not worth it unless you want to become a university professor. Okay. Also, please elaborate on that. What is piled higher and deeper? I'm not tracking. Please help me out here. This may be me eating too many crayons or something, but I'm not understanding. Oh, gotcha. PhD. Yes. See, that was something I was looking at and going towards. This past week, I sat down with two, I call them friends now, but these two psychologists, they're both PhDs. They came around my area, we sat down and we talked. They're professors at UCLA and in the psychology department, and they came down to San Diego. I met up with them briefly. We sat down, we had a little bit of coffee and just talked. And I'm like, man, I was just impressed and amazed by how far their careers have gone and where it's taken them and all the research. But then I also started thinking, is a PhD something that I'm really into? Because that would be the natural next step after my master's degree. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go that route. I'm kind of, even with his master's degree, I'm very, like, I'm in my third class right now. I'm very researched out, like conducting research and scientific articles and all that. Like, I love reading about what I love reading about when it comes to veterans, but man, my whole last class was on gender identity, which I know is a very real thing today in 2026, but it just kind of doesn't really interest me, but I just had to do it for the sake of the class. So yeah, I'm really thinking, second guessing the whole PhD route, man. But yeah, I understand what you mean. Actually, I was playing after speaking to Jim from Tabak Law. I was considering the law school route and taking my LSAT for that. So we'll see. Hellfish, imposter syndrome in veterans stems from transitioning from a highly structured military environment to often ambiguous civilian workforce, leading to feelings of inadequacy. You qualified. That is a dangerous thing in this economy unless you have a job locked up with it. Okay. Yeah. So that's a real thing. I like that you brought that up, Hellfish. Going from a highly structured military environment to a workforce, a civilian workforce that, as you worded it there, leading to feelings of inadequacy, you qualified. Going from a structured military workforce to something maybe that is unknown, to maybe something that you don't feel like you fit in. I completely get that because I felt that before too. Hidden service, some veterans may experience guilt or feel like an imposter if they did not engage in combat, or if they feel their service was not significant enough. That, my friend, is also another real thing. I'm thankful that I've never had that. I don't care that, the whole combat thing. Like I've been in a combat area, but I was not in special operations or infantry or anything like that. So that has never really bothered me, but I can see how it bothers some folks, right? There's always that that thought, especially in the Marine Corps too. I don't know about other services, like, hey, you're not a real Marine unless you have a car, combat action ribbon. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't matter, because what about your support and all that stuff? That if everybody was in infantry, then what about like the pay? What about like the food? What about everything else that goes along with that? The aircraft, Translation gap: veterans may feel unqualified because they cannot immediately translate military experience, leadership logistics into corporate jargon. That I think that's been a little bit easier to do in at least this day and age, like these last few years, because essentially you can plug in like fitness reports into ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever you have, and it'll translate all that jargon for you for the most part. I was lucky to get in with like it was Hire Heroes USA when I left the service, and they redid my entire resume, which is great. But I still had to kind of fill in the blanks there. They just kind of redid it for me, and it was kind of a shell, and I had to put specific things in there. I have an MSIT and 2 professional degrees meant nothing for me being a firefighter paramedic. If you want to go JD and you have a master's, I don't think you have to do the LSAT. Oh, that would be a weight lifted off my shoulders, man, because I was literally this past week doing research on the LSAT. So we will see. I specifically like the idea of getting into like veteran law and playing with the idea of immigration law too. So those things interest me. I'm not very interested in going to court and arguing in court, and I've done a lot of that as an administrative law officer a while back when I was in uniform as a chief warrant officer. I'd go to court all the time, advocating for the government and me against the defense counsel, and just kind of arguing there in the court well. It was great to do that, but then after a while, I was like, man, I've had enough of this law stuff. Let me go try something else. And then naturally, I kind of gravitated back to it because I read about it all the freaking time. So it's fun. It's kind of fun for me, actually. You raise your right hand and we're available. That is better than 99% of the rest of this nation has the balls to do. I agree, sir. I agree. Yeah, this is I appreciate all the conversation that we have on this channel. I appreciate all the folks that came on here, Bruce and we had Gunny Bryan that came on here. A lot of the folks who talk and who share their comments in the chat here. I couldn't have this channel without folks like you. I really could. So I appreciate it. I really do. Let's see what I still got this. I just noticed that this girl is still like dancing on TikTok, like, because I never closed down the tab, and I looked over. I'm like, what the hell is all that movement? And of course, she's still dancing on TikTok outside the VA or inside the VA, getting her friggin' VA CMP exam or whatever the hell she's doing. So let's see. Had to duck out. I'm actually at work. Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, do your thing. I guess we could say I'm at work as well, but I like this job. Um, there is something that I read. I'm going to share with you. So there's this book that I read. Um, it's a small book. It's called uh, Seneca on the Shortness of Life. Life is long if you know how to use it. It's very, very short, right? And I read it every so often, and I underline a lot of stuff on here. I highlight a lot of stuff, and there's this one thing that I saw. I thought I folded the page here. Page 75. No. Yeah, page 77. So if you all know Seneca, if you all follow Stoicism or anything like that, if you ever seen like things like Ryan Holiday and his books and things like that, you've probably come across this, right? Again, Seneca on the shortness of life. Life is long if you know how to live it. On page 77 of this book, towards the bottom, I just had to underline this. It says, the energies of lions and other animals are restricted by cages, but not of men, whose finest achievements are seen in retirement. I'm trying to wrap my head around what that means exactly. Our finest, I guess we are not constrained by, especially those who maybe don't work a 9 to 5 or something like that. We are not constrained by that 9 to 5. When you are free, when you're not constricted and restricted by cages, retirement is where you see your finest achievements. And I kept reading that and rereading that. And I thought, yeah, there is nothing really restricting me. I work for myself. There's really nothing restricting me right now. Sky is the limit. So where do I take this? What do I do with this information? You can see like I highlight the hell out of all this stuff, write notes on the side, things like that. Where do I take this information? If you apply yourself to study, you will avoid all boredom with life. You will not long for night because you are sick of daylight. You will be neither a burden to yourself nor useless to others. You will attract many to become your friends, and the finest people will flock about you. So my note to myself was, study attracts usefulness. So very good stuff on here. I enjoy reading stuff. I have more books on Seneca, Epictetus. Of course, there's, Marcus Aurelius. A lot of these texts did not survive, but a lot of them did. Like if you look at Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, if you look up Teachings of Seneca, if you want more information on this stuff, Ryan Holiday has a great compilation of things. And one great thing that you can do when looking at all this stuff is creating something like a commonplace book. Taking one book, just labeling it, quotes, meditations on Stoicism, things like that, whatever choose your subject, and just write about it. Just put quotes in there and sayings and things that will help you, and that will be your commonplace book for that one thing, that subject. So very interesting stuff. If you haven't already picked it up, I'm not selling this or anything like that. It's just a very good little short read. Seneca on the shortness of life. Life is long if you know how to use it. There's also things like Marcus Aurelius Meditations. Let me see, Niccolo Machiavelli, The Prince. That's also a good one. There's I don't know if you all read. It's kind of a hard read, but Tom and Paine's Common Sense is a pretty good one. Let me see, John Ruskin's Art and Life. Let me see, George Orwell, Why I Write. These books are very good. It gives you different perspectives on these things. So interesting stuff. Let me see what we got here. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's exactly what that quote by Seneca means. And I think you spelled it out pretty well. A person's best work may come after they are not tied to employment. Think about things like E.B. White's One Man's Meat. Interesting title for a book, but also an interesting book. There's Haruki Murakami on things I talk about when I'm running. Interesting read. These people made their life about being novelists and being writers, but interesting to read about their perspectives as well. I like reading about the Stoics. Yeah. So do I, man. I love that stuff. I really do. So yeah, and somebody else put it up here, and I think that I'm a fan of this idea, and I think we will get something like this done. Where the heck is it? I'm finding your stuff here, your comment. Okay, yeah, Robert Chalklab, man, I think you bring up something good here, and I'll get with these gentlemen as well. And Salty El Marine, you're on here as well, so I want to see what your thoughts are on this. But this guy Robert Chalklab mentioned, hey, Green Logbook, CivDiv, Salty Old Marine, Raider, etc. Memorial Day is coming up. We're still losing a lot of vets. Many haven't truly come home yet. Wouldn't it be nice to do some kind of a united TED Talk? And I like the idea of doing kind of like a round table and talking about stuff, talking about this. Yes, I also like the idea. So I have your, I have, Bill, I have your email address. I might have Raiders as well. I don't think I have Clay's. I may have Clay's. We may have shared emails back and forth. But I'm open to it. This is, I think it would be nothing but greatness for the veteran community. I mean, just have like these YouTubers, podcasters, whatever your platform is, and just sitting around a round table, just talking on a stream, and conversing about whatever it is that we converse about. Maybe folks that we've lost, maybe remembering, maybe thinking about ways to make the veteran community better, things like that. I like it. Maybe, yeah, Hellfish, I agree. Potentially a fundraiser for a cause. I will say, Hellfish, that I don't know if I have the mental capacity to do a 12-hour live stream. I don't know if you're playing or not. I don't know if you're messing with me. A 12-hour live stream. I don't know if you're messing with me, dude. I think by hour 3, my eyes may start bleeding. But, if we could run like a relay race, like, hey, I'm getting off the stream. Here's Hellfish Haven or whatever. Yes, I agree. Salty Marine. I agree. And if you've been drinking coffee, that's a no-go, dude. Yeah, bring H-Town as well. H-Town as well. He can bring his slides and we can talk. Yeah, I agree. Maybe 2-3 hours is good. But yeah, I mean, this one's even running a little longer than I expected. 2 hours and 30 minutes or so, but it's been so fun to kind of talk. Usually after the live streams, my voice starts going kind of hoarse. So I got to save that a little bit, but yes. I agree. Let's do it. Let's that's come together at some point. And let me look at the date here. May 25th, Monday, May 25th, Memorial Day. Potentially we can knock that out. We got to come up with a name for it. The Memorial Day something. I don't know, with the Memorial Day Madness. Who's there? Give me a second, guys. Got to take care of business. All right, back in here. Yes. Yeah, let's do it. Let's set it up. I'll get some emails out and we'll get a roundtable going. Hellfish, you can get your creative juices flowing. It'd be good is if we can get this thing sponsored by somebody. Hey, actually, I'll look into that too. A Memorial Day roundtable with a bunch of Salt Hill Marine, with CivDiv, Raider HQ, H-Town. I love that. I really do. The final roll call, a live muster. Damn, look at you, man. Are you Chat GPTing this, or is this coming off the dome? Yeah, we'll do. Let me see. I'll shoot out some emails. Great stuff, ladies and gents. Thanks for hanging out here and talking about this. This has got me. This whole veteran thing has got me excited about this whole Memorial Day potential thing that we have going on. Thanks to Robert Chalk Lab for bringing up that idea. Great piece of gear. Truly appreciate that. Yeah, we'll get it done. I think it can only benefit the veteran community. The people have spoken. The people want the YouTubers to stream, to come out and talk a little bit. So I like that. Damn, look at that. Been talking so long, my light went out. Shit, it actually looks pretty good like this. Okay, with that, before I go, anybody got any saved rounds? Anybody else got anything going on before I get out of here? My eyes are going to start bleeding and I have to get some work done. Bruce, I will email you back, man. I got your stuff. It was great to connect with you. I'm looking forward to connecting. Let me turn this thing on here. All right. With that, great connecting, great conversation. Thank you for joining me. A quick recap, talked a little bit about maybe not sharing VA disability ratings online, on Facebook, on TikTok, things like that. It just looks bad. It really does. I mean, in my perspective, it looks kind of bad. I know that I've lost some, friendships over that, not sharing, but sharing about military retirement and stuff like that. And so if you're going to do something like that, do it to educate, not to brag, things like that. And I think it'll work out a lot better. So with that, thank you all for joining. on the Green Logbook. I will be putting out more videos this week. And I look forward to potentially this Memorial Day thing. With that, out here.